Okay, welcome to episode 4 of the Puck and Dragon, the Puck and Dragon podcast where we talk about all things Dragon. First thing to say today, again, we're back in Owls. Fantastic facilities, and they've let us in again. I don't know why. Must have liked it last time. Again, great support from them for the club and for the podcast. So big thank you, firstly. Today, so we've got Steve, we've got Carl, and we've got some legends with us today. So if we'll start with some introductions, I think, if that's all right, chaps. So
that's cool.
Oldest first.
I'm Steve Parry. I played number 7 for the Dragons for far too long.
Top goal scorer. Perhaps you can check that in there.
Yeah.
Top goal scorer.
All-time top goal scorer.
I'm Keith Parsons, played number 5, and like Paz far too long ago when we started.
Is that me? Alan Steele. Played right wing most of the time. Played number 6. Played from about 1980, I think. So I was about 17, and then I went to packed in just before I was 40, I think. And I played with the Dragons, and they split up, and then started back with the Frees for a couple of seasons.
I'm Richie Amos. I didn't play with the original Dragons. I was a little bit too young. But I played for the reformed Dragons 92, whatever we were underneath. Also played for Flinty Frees, number 88, and I had a great time.
Fantastic. Well, really appreciate you giving up your time to come and come
getting out the nursing home. Getting out the nursing home.
come to babysitters instead.
So, Baz, you worked out what a podcast is now?
I googled it. I think I might know.
There you go. So we'll get on to the Welsh Cup later. Obviously the Welsh Cup's coming up soon. We'll talk about that in a bit. We just want to sort of go back 50 years of Dragons. What's your earliest memory? I know, Keith, you were the first goal scorer for Dragons.
Yeah, I remember getting on the bus out there and a long drive to Sobel Saints, and we didn't have kit, we just had tracksuit bottoms and everything and a kit underneath, but it was just it's gone in a flash like that.
The rink was a bit of a shock.
The rink was, the rink,
It wasn't much bigger than this room.
No, that's right. And it had a gap.
It had like a step, concrete step,
then
a gap like that,
then
like a padded rail all the way around.
So you have to keep on stopping to get the puck.
I was going to say, is that for people like me so we can all go and skate around the ring?
Yeah,
that's already be ideal for us to play on now, really. All the padding.
All Grimsby, or Blackpool.
Or Gospel.
So, Baz, what about your memories of the early days?
It was very, very good. I really enjoyed it, and we did nothing else. It was hockey or nothing.
Like the Band of Brothers.
And a lot of us lived quite close together, which is nowadays you come up from all over the place. Still good camaraderie, but back then some of them went to school together. Even went to school together.
What got you into it? What interested you to first jump on the ice?
They built an ice rink here. right on my doorstep. I live like 5 minutes from here. 5 minutes walk up past through the school. So
and I'm 3 minutes away up there.
And
just thought we'll come down and have a go and went on from there.
I know when I played, I came with the rink sort of opened. I skated. My mum used to work here, so I used to get on the ice skating. And then a mate of mine, David Waterhouse, he's no longer with us. Anyway. He was playing, and he said, "Hey Al," he said, "you can skate, can't you?" He said, "Yeah, come and have a go at this hockey." He said, "Sound." Yeah, alright, so I went, and that was it. Just went and started from there. I think I was about 16ish, I think. So, that was, say once then, you're hooked, aren't you?
That's it.
You know what I mean? It's everything about it, all your teammates and everything. And, we had years where we didn't really win many games and stuff like that, but, it's not about that. But nobody seems like coming here to play, that's for sure. They knew they were going to be in a game. Regardless of whether we win or put 15 past us, they were going to get a bit of a hit in,
One other thing was the London Lions played Altrincham Aces here.
And Christine.
Yeah, it was just. I was never good at football. I couldn't kick a ball. I still can. And I was hopeless at football, so it just sort of picked it up.
Yeah.
Quick.
What about you, Richie?
I say when these guys were playing, they would have been teenagers. I was a few years younger, so I used to come down and watch. It was just awesome. And then one night, one of our ex-Dragons players, Brian Jackson, who lives in Canada now, he said, "Oh, do you want to come on?" And I said, "I haven't got any kit." And he said, "Oh, we're going to put you in goal." so I said, "Oh, all right then." So I put all this gear on, and I saw that all the other guys getting changed, and they put their protection on down there. And I said, "Where's mine?" And he said, "Oh, we haven't got one. Just stick a towel down there." So I sort of went on the ice. I mean, it was a nightmare. And I got into it pretty quickly. And I thought, this is enjoying this. But then the towel started to move. And I took one right in the crown jewels and kind of put me off going on for a little while, to be honest with you. But no, it's just an awesome sport. And, you know, there's been a few reiterations of the Dragons over the years, and then subsequently the Freeze after that, with Mark Stokes running the show, which Al and I were both, you know, quite lucky to play for them, terrorising the Southern League.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, you know, there was a bit of a lull, and then Dragons came back with one or two different people, and but then obviously Sean and Mike came in, and it's just gone bananas. You know, there's 500, 600, 700 people coming to watch home games. We got an amazing junior section coming up, which just
seems an awful lot more professional, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from us, it's dead professional. Yeah.
The announcements on the day, maybe.
It's just a bit of fun, that.
Oh,
It's just a bit of fun.
So, what was the away days like back in the day when you used to travel? Everyone's really reluctant now to say.
Well, some people used to tie in announcing that they were going to be a father after an away trip. I'm not going to mention any names. It probably hit me. But no, I mean away trips.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only recollect, say, from the second Dragons 92. We were playing all over the UK, and we had some away trips, and they were just phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, we were playing hockey. We weren't the best team, but you know, we everybody who played us knew that they'd been in the game when they played us. But boy, we could certainly party the best. That's for sure.
Up in Scotland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Solway,
yeah.
What happened in Scotland?
There was fires and bed wetting.
No, there wasn't. No,
it wasn't a real bed wetting. We just poured water on someone's bed, and we made him think that he'd wet the bed. And it went on for a few years. No names.
You know, I think the travel and everything it's just all part of the sport, isn't it? You know, there's no rinks close there is now, as a witness our closest there, you know, but I think back in the day, I think Altrincham probably would have been our closest, and then up Telford started up, you know, so it's a lot of travel involved, you know, it's a big commitment every weekend, you know, as it is now, you know, the lads, the commitment they put in, you know, training, you know, through the week and away from your families and stuff they've got now, but, you know, back in the day, I didn't have kids or anything then, you know, so you're away for, you know, sometimes all day on a Saturday, some double headers, you know, up in Scotland, and, you know, you've got to, if you don't enjoy that, then you don't bother playing hockey, you know, because travel's a big part of it, you know, so.
I think it's harder for the guys now, isn't it? Especially because a lot of them have got like younger families. I think when we were playing, I think our wives were probably glad to see the back of us for the day. Or something, like, to be honest with you. Chance to get some jobs done around the house.
I mean, I talked to mates there that played football. They go, oh, bloody hell, I'm playing in mould this weekend. Like, mould? It's like 55 minutes away, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said, I'm off to Whitley Bay, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean?
there's one.
Yeah.
First one.
You've been fined 5 credits.
And there was a good rink to go to, on in Whitley Bay.
Yeah.
Imagine how many people had bloody christenings on a Sunday then.
Still hasn't changed.
Yeah.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
changed now, is it?
No,
No, that was a good old place.
but it's a rink.
It's a rink, and like you say, we're not blessed like Canada are, or even in Europe like Germany, etc. Stuff like that. You know, we have the rinks, and I'm glad that we're a rink that's run by a local authority, so to speak, and not one of these conglomerates who I don't particularly like them, to be honest with you, because I don't think they've got ice hockey as their interests.
No.
I think it's just they do see it as a business. What Bebo and Mikey and the guys are trying to do is bring the family side back into it, you know, and that's been evident from this last season and the season before, where, you know, we had nothing after COVID. We had nothing. Other teams are carrying on playing. We had diddly squat, and now I think there's probably an awful lot of teams, even in our league, that are probably envious of the fan base and the structure and the professionalism.
I was surprised that the council did what they did.
Yeah.
Because what they did when you walked in, I wasn't expecting any hockey to come back.
No, I think a lot of us were, weren't we?
And when I walked in the rink and seen what they'd done, I was totally
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was amazing, and it's grown since then. So hopefully it grows.
That's
It grows even more.
Yeah, so like obviously what the James is doing, you know, with all the junior section and everything.
Yeah.
You know, apparently they've got about, I don't know, 100 odd kids, I think.
Yeah.
30 odd kids all signed up and playing.
It was absolutely wrecked, the junior club, wasn't it?
There wasn't a junior club
Totally
left, was there?
wrecked.
It was nothing.
Was it?
They were,
No,
they were all
gone to
over the
Widnes,
place.
Blackburn, Manchester,
Yeah.
Telford.
A lot of kids just stopped playing.
That's it, yeah, I know, and it's I mean, my lads in with the juniors, so Carl's lad,
Oh, really?
and yeah, they love it.
Unlucky.
They love it.
I see the stick there, 250 quid. Jesus Christ.
He has had the word with me about new sticks, but
You know.
yeah, at least he's not a netminder.
No, it's fantastic.
couldn't
I
be
mean,
worse, yeah.
you know, I mean, like Keith's son obviously plays, and I think the girls are maybe doing a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like Paz's
Yeah.
son, obviously Alex plays.
Grandson.
Granddaughter. My younger brother, his son Harry is playing for the under-14s this year. So, you know, it's sort of like, you see that's a little bit of family thing going on. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
It's great to see.
From a community point of view, it's a good
Oh, yeah,
place
yeah,
for
yeah, that's right.
socialising
Yeah.
and getting the
Definitely.
kids in through the doors.
Absolutely, yeah. It's brilliant. It is really good.
So, obviously, it's big changes down here. You guys seen big changes? The old
Oh
rink
yeah,
used to be-
the old rink and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the inflatable,
Nah,
Yeah, big inflatable park, yeah. But,
so you bounce around in a different way in there now.
But the
Yeah.
old rink was very dark, wasn't it? I seem to remember.
Yeah, it's
Dark,
dark.
the old rink,
You had to be careful you didn't get checked in the corner in case you went over into the ice pit. Because that was an open
Yeah.
hole, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But,
We're getting thrown in that. Fully clothed.
Was your kit on?
Kit on, yeah.
It was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
but no, I mean, like the new rink. I mean, obviously when it first opened up, you know, it was great. It's a shame they couldn't have seating on both sides, and maybe a seating behind one of the goals like the old
Yeah.
rink had, because
Yeah.
you could really get your fans.
I
in
must
there.
admit, I think you could do with a bar. I mean, seriously now, above, most rinks you go to, they'll have a bar.
Yeah.
You know, above, so you can sit from the bar. You know, surely they put something there above the cafe, you know, and to... You know,
Not that we'd
anyway,
encourage
so-
drink driving or anything like that. Let's have a shake.
Well, no, but I mean, they sell beer, don't they? But it'd be nice to have
Yeah.
some sort of building there that you could go and see the game.
Yeah, well, I think if we can obviously keep growing the club as it is with a fan base, and you know, if we can get bums on seats and fill the rink, then we'll have a word with Mikey and Sean and see. Pop the question.
No, it's nice to see how many people that get in here now. You know, they do fill the place.
You wouldn't get me doing the mic if there was a bar in there. Unless I could do it from the bar.
That's what I say.
It's progressively getting worse, isn't it?
When they built this rink, that there next door was a bar.
How is it?
That
That's
was
right,
the
yeah.
Alpine bar, and you just
Alpine,
used to walk through from the rink.
Mm.
It was all rubber matted. You could have a little drink and then go back on the ice. Not that it was good to drink when you skate
About to
in.
say,
but-
was that
before you were playing on?
it's all in the game.
In between periods.
Rubber matted because they knew you were coming to skate.
Yeah.
So, most memorable match for you guys? Start with you, Keith.
Oh, blimey.
First match that comes to mind, you think, wow.
I remember playing Blackpool once and put my head in the wrong place and bang.
Yeah.
Unconscious. But I can't think. I don't know.
Too many.
That many. Oh, I got my teeth knocked out in Solihull on it as well.
Them are the good bits.
Them are the good bits, yeah.
What about you, Richie? Most memorable game?
Most memorable game? I think possibly I scored my one and only ever hat-trick playing at home for the Frees against Bradford. And Al assisted me on two of the goals, the two helpers. And we were talking on the bench. I was like, "Oh, that's brilliant!" And then a puck come up.
Oh yeah.
A puck come up, hit me in the jaw and sparked me out. So I'm on the floor, and I'm sure Adam Davis will probably watch this. He's like, "Richie's dead! Richie's dead!"
We're all like that.
And Mark, everyone else is watching the game. Mark Stokes he's like, "Richie, Mark." And I'm like, I went to the hospital, and it was the shortest hospital visit I'd ever had, because I had all my kit on, obviously apart from my kit, and I stank. and I was in the Countess of Chester for like 20 minutes. It x-rayed me and shooed me off. He asked me if I could go and wait outside, probably because of all the flies I was attracted to.
The best thing was we were on the other side.
Yeah.
And they were all like that, and they seen the puck go, and they all went like that. And they all
Except for Rich.
jumped like a chip.
What about you, Al? What's your...
Well, a memorable one, probably not for hockey reasons, was playing away at Hull. Bryn, what was our manager?
Yeah.
Bryn Roberts was our manager, and I'm on the bench, and Bryn's having a go at somebody on the ice from our team. I can't even think who it was now he was having a go at, and I was sat on the bench here, and Bryn's standing in front of me, and I said, "Just get him off." I said, "Get him off then if he's bloody rubbish." And he said, "Turn around." He turned around and he swung an elbow at me and hit me across the jawline. So I stood up and I'm punching our manager, and I'm beating him up on the bench, and the ref blows the whistle and stops the game.
I was in the
And all the people on the ice, what's going on?
off.
They all look round and I'm beating the manager up on the bench.
I'm standing waiting for the face-off, and the referee's like that. What are you... Oh, you're beating Bryn up on the bench.
Beating Bryn up on the bench.
I think if he'd have got up, he would have batted you out. You suckered him.
Yeah, but I think for hockey, probably, I think, as you say, you might talk about later, I think playing in Cardiff, I think it was their first season. I think we were the only team to take a point from them all year. I think we drew 3 each. It was televised. I managed to get a goal, and the place is packed. You know, and that was a good experience. You know, to play really good quality.
That was a good
team. Old
drink. That was in the city centre, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's a memorable one. I
A couple
think.
of good takeaways nearby.
Yeah.
A lot of history with Cardiff and...
Well, not so much, 'cause obviously they went up that year. They only spent 1 year in our league, and then they went up, and then obviously to more money and better things. And well, they're in elite league now, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, whereas, you know, we were just here, not a great deal of sort of money, sponsorship and stuff to get too many players in. I think when what was his name? Is it Kerry Wixley came in?
Yeah.
He threw some money at the club, you know, and got some imports in and whatnot. You know, and then we improved like you will do. You know, you're all new lads coming in and stuff. So it's a good setup. Say, not quite where it is now, but for what it was then, you know.
Yeah.
But I think Cardiff, they've done great. You know, with just goes to show you, if you've got the money, that's, you know. But we were all local lads, weren't we? You know, it's not like, oh, we need to get somebody from so and so. You know, so it was good. And then when Liverpool came, they shut down, didn't they? Had a few lads over from Liverpool joined us and that. So just great days.
I'm just wondering where his next Cardiff player is sitting there thinking that night in Deeside when we used to go out.
They'll always remember the Welsh Cup.
Yeah.
The old Dragons, so these guys, they went down and played the Welsh Cup, and you know they had like John Lawless, Ian and Stephen Cooper, Shannon Hope, Doug McEwen. They were a stellar outfit, and they handed the Dragons' arses to them. They're like about 1 or 14-2, something like that. And so when they came up for the second leg, I mean, Fred Pellini was player coach at the time, and he drafted in some ringers.
He played in the NHL, didn't he?
Yeah. He ex-Toronto Maple Leaf, and he drafted in a load of Canadians from other teams in the UK because it was a special one-off game. and the Dragons absolutely battered Cardiff, and they weren't happy. But you know, we were like
30 odd goals past them, wasn't it?
31-3, I think.
Was it?
Something like that. But that was quite memorable, maybe for the wrong reasons. But thankfully, games like that, blowouts, you know, they used to be regular occurrences. But now, you know, there's, for me, you know, you see like a 2-1 or a 3-2 or a 4-2 game. That's far better for the sport. Because it can get a bit boring otherwise.
Actually,
Unless we were playing Blackburn, if we beat them 17, that'll be well chilled.
Cheers, Aaron. See you next month.
So, what about you, Steve? Most memorable
I think the Cardiff game down there. We played them here, and we didn't have our import in place. And when we went back down there, we had our 3 imports. And I think he beat us 4-2 up here. And we went down there and we drew 4-4. But when we pulled up, we went down in 2 buses. When we pulled up outside, they were queuing from the rink right up round to where Toys R Us is round the corner. There was another one waiting to get in. We went in, it was full, packed, round packed. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was no seat.
It was a busy
Honest,
place.
we were absolutely, and when we come on the ice, the problem is, with them being quite a new team, they didn't know the rules. Supporters, they didn't know. They don't know what they were shouting for. Same as when Manchester started up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Storm. They used to fill that place. I was in that Manchester arena, and I think there was 37,000 in. Was it?
I think it's just over 20,000. I'd been to a couple of games when there's 20,000 there, so it's proper NHL size arena. It's unbelievable.
And I couldn't believe the amount of people that were there, and things like that. You know, I didn't play obviously, but watching hockey come to that standard was amazing for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's probably a good time to talk about the Welsh Cup. So obviously, that's come back. First game, up and coming on Sunday. Sunday, the Cardiff boys are coming down to the Den.
Right.
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday the 7th of September.
Oh, no, 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
a week on Saturday.
A week on Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Sorry, you have to break it down so it's a bit time's passing us by
Yeah, I
quick.
think you're
Break it down for you as well. Yeah. Sunday.
Yeah, but I mean, again, they're going to come up to us. So what do we think? What do we think this is going to be?
I don't know what sort of team they've got, to be fair, what league they play in. Because if we don't play them in the league, do we?
No,
So what the standards like? I don't
they
know.
played in D2 last year, which I think is a higher standard than our D2 up north.
Oh, was it?
And they've moved up to Division 1,
Oh, right,
the equivalent of ours. I think the standard would be pretty good.
Yeah,
You know,
all right, okay.
I've seen some of the videos, and you know, obviously some of the guys who guested for us the last couple of years. You know, it'd be good to see
Quite
them.
good, aren't they?
And I think they'll be a half decent side. You know.
What you
So,
find with the teams like you like Nottingham, Sheffield, Manchester, Cardiff, they're massive catchment areas. We're just an ice rink in Queen's Ferry.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big housing estate over there, but you look at Nottingham, they've got like two teams in every single age group, from under 8s, is it?
something like that. Yeah.
Right the way through to the elite league. You know, it just, and Sheffield are the same.
But I think it'll be a pretty decent standard.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I mean, obviously we've got, you know, we've lost some guys who sadly aren't with us, you know, anymore for multiple reasons. But you've got some new guys coming in. We've got some young exciting guys who are stepping up, and I think it'll be really interesting. Plus we get to go down there for the second leg, so we might have a day out in Cardiff, which is always it's never a bad thing, to be honest with you.
That's it. I think couple of buses down to Cardiff this time.
I might be going over
We'll
there.
have to see how many we can get, how many seats we can fill in.
Yeah, oh, that should be good.
Yeah, first one in nearly 20 years as well.
Is it?
Is it? 20
So
years.
it's been
I think the last time we played Cardiff was in the Power Play Trophy final in Peterborough, and we played in there was a magazine called the Power Play magazine, and they had this trophy, and I mean we played you know, like Whitley Bay, we played in Gosport, Peterborough, Cardiff. I mean, it was and it was all self-funded.
Yeah.
And we played our semi-final on the Saturday. We won that, and we were playing Cardiff in the final on the Sunday, and we were all staying in the same hotel. But we were partying on the Saturday night, and they were complaining. They said, "Oh, there's a load of people downstairs they're making the racket. We've got a final tomorrow." They were like, "Yeah, that's the team you're playing." and we beat them in that.
Them, yeah.
So I suppose, even though it wasn't the Welsh Cup, I suppose we had the edge on them over the years. Like.
That's it.
It'll be interesting to see the level that the Dragons are at this year. Like you say, with the young players coming in, as well as some real good players coming in.
Yeah, I think the skill level has surprised me this last 2 seasons. I think before, pre-COVID, I think there was still an element of some hockey teams who may not necessarily be the best, and they just come and try and rough it up, which, for fight fans is great. But if you wanna see a decent game, decent standard, then the league have clamped down. I don't necessarily agree with all the rules the league have implemented. I think some of them are a bit harsh, a bit silly. But I understand why they're doing it. But I think the skill levels, and I think in Division 1, whatever it's called now, Monolly, whatever it is now. I think Solway Sharks have got a lot to do with that, because the standard of hockey they played was out of this world, and it's brought other teams up. And I think that the thought was last season, what's the league going to be like without Solway? And I think it was a great league last year. Every single team on the night could beat any other team, with maybe 1, maybe 2 exceptions, but they'd run them close. But and it was great. It was great. It was great viewing. It was really competitive.
Yeah, I feel like the players maybe fear the den a little bit as well when they come, the travelling players. It sounds like it's a historic thing from when you boys started.
You don't always have it.
I'd probably end up playing 2 games a season if I played now. Have a fight in one, get banned for 10 games, come back, have a fight, and then be banned for the rest of the season.
Call the referee a name.
Well, you just can't do it, and I just think I sort of get it, but it's part and parcel of the sport, and it has been for years. Yeah. Nobody really, you don't particularly get that hurt, you know what I mean? You might be lucky to get 2 or 3 points.
I don't know. Unless your name's Snippet.
No, you're thinking about Cardiff. One of the spot me out.
So who's the worst at before of you? Who spent the most time in the penalty? In the box?
I think you're
That's just there like okay.
It's there under elite prospects, it doesn't lie.
Yeah, I think you're the most penalty minutes, weren't you? Past league. Dragons leading penalty minutes, man.
It was rough then.
It was rough.
I suppose
the refereeing was terrible.
I remember when George Kelly was sat in his office and they were just signing Barry Coy, lad from Liverpool. And I was sat just chatting to our ex-manager, George Kelly, and this lad came in from Liverpool. He introduced himself, and this George says to this Barry Coy, he said, "This is our fighter," pointed to me.
Was that when you had, was that when you had your soul glow?
And Barry took one look at me, he said, "I wouldn't know whether to fight him."
That's another one.
Al had the most luxurious barnet. He had jerry curls and it glistened. I think he put soul glow on it, something like that. He was a beautiful human being.
Yeah. Well, that's Barry Coy was a nut. He got banned for life, didn't he, Barry Coy? I played a game here in the old rink. I'm not sure the team we were playing now, and he'd had a brawl and he was getting kicked off the ice, and he basically skated the width of the ice, done like a karate kick over the boards, skate first into their bench, just trying to beat everybody up on their bench. He was a nutter. There was something wrong with him, and he got banned for life for that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah.
You might be banned for life on podcasts.
First and last.
First and last podcast.
I have to explain to Steve what podcast is first.
Exactly.
Before you get banned from it.
I don't think I'd ever seen once you were doing the Dragons one, so I'd watch you that.
Yeah.
The one last week was it? Oh,
You're just used to looking on the dark web, aren't you?
Gotta do it, Annie. He can't help himself.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we had Larry and Matt on the last podcast, and they were saying about the difference in like the speed, and obviously with the regulations changed, so it's not as rough anymore. Do you guys see that as well? You know,
Yeah.
do you feel like it's
to be
with the
fair, it
sport, or is
infuriates me.
Yeah.
People I see going in the corners and they're going in half arts and the sticks are sort of there. Get in and you don't have to kill the guy, just go in and crunch him. You know what I mean? You're allowed to check.
The league are killing the game.
Yeah.
They've taken checking out.
Yeah.
They're trying to
Well,
take
yeah,
it out.
That's right.
You do a perfect hip check and you get sent
And
off.
you get-
It's
it's a
clipping
penalty,
or
yeah.
chipping
Yeah,
or...
yeah.
And they give you a penalty.
I think that there's nothing better for the team, the teams that are playing. If you see one of your guys deliver a massive body check, whether it be centre ice, on the boards, it's an unbelievable feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and you know the noise. I remember a guy we played from Gosport here, where he was coming down the back of goal, and I checked him, and it was a target, and it was the best I'd ever done, and he ended up going to hospital, and he broke a couple of ribs. But you don't set out to hurt someone, but part of the game is the physicality.
Yeah.
And as long as it's done correctly,
Yeah.
but I think, you know, like Paz alluded to, that I understand why they're trying to take out like checks to the head and stuff like, because of concussion protocols and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But
But they don't get that right.
I think sometimes the fact that somebody may go in half-heartedly for a check could possibly end up in them getting hurt.
Yeah.
And the other guy might be thinking about repercussions, or might be looking at, I mean, some of the bans, you know, like we've seen like 10, 15, 20 game bans over the last few years. What's all that about?
The late hit. It's just...
I mean,
Well, we don't know a bit about late hits, we've done enough at that time.
Oh, well, yeah, but you were taught to keep your head up.
yeah.
Keep your head up, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We had Ollie on, didn't we?
Terrible.
Ollie Howes. And he was saying about, you know, big hits and how they got him pumped and, you
Yeah.
know, and like you say, it's just part of it,
exactly.
innit? Get yourself
Part and
going
parcel of the
and
game, of course. And the thing is,
It
the
gets
crowd,
it gets a team going.
you know,
Gets
you
it.
see a decent fight,
Gets
you
the
know what I
crowd
mean?
going.
The crowd are up on the feet, that's what they want to see. You know what I mean?
If one team scores, their supporters get up. With the other team scores, they get up. There's a fight, everybody's up, aren't they? Yeah, aren't they?
Yeah, I can see there's a chance from the side now as Bacon's going to get you. You know, just send him on and.
But is he going to get it?
Jesus. Bloody Bacon.
I want to see a bit more from you this year, Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on, Carl.
you can do it,
Right.
mate.
I remember a game, Ashfield Islands, I think they were called.
Oh, yeah,
And in the old rink there again. Remember Ronnie Cooper?
yeah.
I was facing off next to this lad, and used to go to all the games, home and away and everything. And he shouts in the stand, says, "Steely." Says, "What?" "It's him." And I said, "Who?" He said, "Him." So this lad's practically stood next to me, and I said, "Him?" And this lad looks at me like, "Who's he?" I said, "Aye, okay." So the lad, as soon as the ref dropped the puck, I dropped my gloves, grabbed and started pounding him. He was made up. The crowd loved him. So,
You made one guy's day.
yeah, exactly, you got to please the folks, haven't you? Yeah.
That's it.
So, what's your sort of favourite rink when you went away? Did you have one where you
Hull.
thought I prefer it and played really well?
Hull's Ice back in the day was,
It was the first, really, 60-30, wasn't it?
yeah,
To be honest.
but the boards and the glass were really hard.
Yeah.
And that was the best.
No, it was great service.
To
I
me.
must admit, I one of my favourite places I ever play in was the old Durham rink on the Riverside,
God.
and this was like obviously the just because of the nostalgia,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, and then the Wasps had finished, and they reformed the Durham City Wasps,
Yeah.
and we went up. Me and Al, I think Steve and Snips had finished then, and we only had 9 players because some of the lads couldn't go, so we drove up in this Sherpa minibus, and we got outside the rink, and a bit like Cardiff before, there's hundreds and hundreds of people outside, and Brian Cooper, who was the manager, he's the father of Ian and Stephen Cooper, he sort of comes out, he's looking over our shoulders, he said, "Where's the rest of your team?" And we said, "Oh, this is it, the other lads, they're on the minibus, it's broken down on the M62, they're having to get towed back to Manchester." And he's like, "You're joking?" He said, I've got 2,500 people in here, Tyne Tees television, and you turn up with 9 people. And I don't know how he did it. Maybe it's because of who he was, but he phoned the league up, and he managed to get some rec players from Billingham, and these 4 or 5 guys came down, and they were like the Hansons or Slapshots. They just wanted to fight, and I think they beat us like 10-2. But it was, I mean, you know, it was great just to play in that. I mean, it's an awful place, but it was great just to say that you played in there. Like.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, rinks. I think rinks I just like to visit. I think it was Whitley Bay, just because of the. You knew you were going to be in for a game. You know what I mean? There's times there you turn up, they're queuing up, you're walking in, the fans are spitting on you walking in and stuff, you know, because the fans sort of sit there above the boards. You know, you're going in the courts, you've got people from the crowd punching you. But that just gets it into the game. You know, it just was great fun, wasn't it?
What was that place we played at back when Bill Wilson was playing at the time, wasn't he? And the crowd was everywhere.
Grimsby.
It was Grimsby. Grimsby. God, and he cracked someone over the head with a stick and bust the stick, didn't he?
It wasn't one of these 250
yeah,
meters.
yeah. That was unreal, that, wasn't it?
Do you know how much I used to pay for my sticks?
Paul.
£6.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Gary Owens around the corner here.
Yeah.
£6.
Yeah.
I've still got my Eastern aluminiums and shafts in the
I've got a
garage.
couple at home, yeah.
Yeah.
Got dents in other people's heads.
There's a couple of times. Slashes more than anything. That was a bit of slasher. Like.
Talking about sticks over the head, remember Mike Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Bloody hell.
That was in the freeze, wasn't it?
I think it was a cup game, wasn't it, I think? And they beat us away, and then they were down here. And the guy, their manager, we were having a bit of a kerfuffle, if you like, getting off the ice after the first period. And, you know, as it is now, it's all crammed in, it was getting off. And it was sort of a fight ensued. And this Mike Murray comes flying in, he's got his stick like an axe. And he went whack, and he just, on their manager's head, just... and then the police came, they arrested him, took his stick away.
You were like, order some pizza, mate, order some pizza. But it made
the Daily Post
page 2 of the Daily Post,
Yeah.
which was great press coverage for the team.
I think it said something like, it looked like the manager had been in a car accident.
That was good.
So just touching on the players that we've got now, obviously we were saying about the youth coming through, your sons play as well. How do you feel about this coming season? Is it one to
Looking
look forward to?
to it.
Yeah.
Always do.
Yeah.
It's great seeing your kids on the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and we've actually had a question. Steve Fellows said, who do you think's better out of you guys or your sons? Obviously, totally different times, but
Totally different.
Yeah.
Totally
yeah.
different.
So you say
I can't skate as
They're
good.
more
No way.
athletic
My
now,
lad's
aren't they,
been skating
so-
since he was 4.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started when I was
Neither of you can fight.
16.
James was 6 when I brought him down to the ice rink, and he's gone off from there now.
Yeah, he's how many years now?
He's
20th year, was it?
30, what, 35 or 36?
Alex is 30.
Yeah, 35 or 36.
Long time then,
Yeah.
But your lad?
Yeah?
You don't know how old he is?
No.
35 or 36.
It's one of them.
One of them two, anyway.
Yeah, one of them.
We asked Larry as well, didn't we, and Matt, out of the group who they got now, who would sort of fit in back in the day. You know, like Ryan would fit in perfectly with his banter back in the day, and then I think they sort of done a U-turn, didn't they, and said, well, actually, it would be a fight or flight. He's either going to get himself into trouble, or he's going to fit in really well. So, do you see any of those personalities from the lads now that you think, you know what, they would have been character in the changing rooms back then?
Yeah, I mean, I see a few of the lads, 'cause I come to all the games, and I usually go and go for a pint afterwards with them, you know, and yeah, I mean, Ryan is a good, funny lad, you know, and you need people like that in the changing room, you know what I mean? Some lads do their own thing, they sort of sit nice and quiet, and their own routines and stuff they've got, you know, but the changing room is banter, and I'm sure it's the same with every hockey team going, you know, and it's a camaraderie sport, isn't it? You know, you're all there, you've got everybody's back and everything. So,
I bet they don't put Rowjacks in their teammates' jockstraps like we used to, though. And then see someone skating on you. I think that there's a great bunch of lads there. I mean, Ryan, you know, Ryan's such a funny guy. Larry, you know, I mean, I've known Larry since he was 6 when his shorts used to touch the ice with his little mullet. And you watched some of the old videos recently, and to hear Larry speak, because he's such a quiet and unassuming guy, but when he speaks, everyone listens in the team. You know, he's a natural leader, and you know he's taken that into the coaching side of things as well now. But there's some great guys there, you know, and Monty has a tough job in keeping him in check, I think, sometimes, because you know there's a couple of characters in the team, but I think, you know, the fact that, you know, we've gone from strength to strength, especially after COVID, can only bode well for the future.
Yeah, and Mike Clancy coming in as well. Bevo and Mike, you talking about the professionalism he brought into the club as well. So
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, you would never have seen back in our day, go to the gym for half an hour before a game. You'd have a Sunday dinner. You'd come to the rink and you'd probably have a can. Maybe sometimes, I don't know. And then you'd go on the ice, and it was. But no, it's changed so much. You know, I mean, pair of skates over there, £900. Back in the day, you could have kitted out an entire team for that. But you know, it's a fantastic sport, and you know there's an opportunity here now at Deeside to continue growing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've got to say, massive shout out to Mikey and Bebo for all the hard work they do, and to Ange as well. You know, for all the banter and the quips that she gives, and my, you know, my lifelong friends that I've got here alongside me, man.
And that's the thing, you know, you've made, you know, from just playing a sport that you all love, you know, you've made, you know, mates that you've known all your life. You know, like saying there's lots and lots that's no longer with us. You know, just recently, you know, old Bernie Snag passed away. You know, and he was what a tough customer he was. You know, great goal scorer, a great fight. You never wanted to play against him. You know, and he sadly passed away last month or whatever it was. So, you know, when you grow up with all that, you know, people you've known for years. You know, it's,
I think the thing is as well, you can. I've got an awful memory. I can not remember something I've done the previous week, but then, you know, if we meet up with one of these, remember that time in Grimsby or Gosport, like 25, 30 years ago, and you close your eyes and you remember
flat
it.
Spin.
You remember it like you were just there.
Very flat spin.
But you did your helicopters check, yeah. You know, I mean, it's hard. It's kind of hard to explain it to people who've never played the game.
What annoys me about,
You know,
people who've never played the game, you say, well, ice hockey, who are they fighting at? They don't see what we see.
No.
The skill that some of these players have got is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
The way they deep, and you know,
And that's the thing,
stick
you see,
control
they can watch
and
it
the
all on
skating.
YouTube, can't they?
yeah.
the
I
edge
dislocate
work and
my
all
hips
that.
trying to do some of the things they do these days. I think. End up in a wheelchair.
Yeah. I think you were the ones I first ever seen pass was the old between the legs and flick him up pair.
Yeah, whatever.
Goal. No, you were there, weren't you?
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, now they're doing it in the NHL, copying it.
Exactly.
From it,
Yeah.
Wow.
Copying Paz.
Copy and
Yeah.
pass,
Just,
yeah.
just
See this Welsh kid on the YouTube.
the only thing I want to see this season, and as a challenge out to all the Dragons players, is I want to see someone do a lacrosse goal.
Yeah.
You know.
No silverware, just the lacrosse.
No,
The old Michigan.
the old
The
Michigan.
Michigan they call
No,
them,
no, silverware's great. I
I
mean,
think Ross tried a couple of times last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
but yeah, I'd like to see that, because that really winds the opposition up, because that's like a Mickey take, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it means I can have a bit of fun on the mic as well, then. Especially with certain
Challenge.
teams.
Talking of challenging the players, is, let's see if you've actually been watching the podcast. We like to ask this every podcast. So we want to talk about the current team. We have a little question. We're going to start one, we're going to bench one, and we're going to drop one. So who's the first player on your team sheet? Who you're dropping out of the team, and who do you fancy yourself against?
All right.
Playing or fighting?
Fighting. Who you dropping gloves with? So
Okay.
we'll start with who's the first player? Current team.
Current team there now.
Who's the first player you're putting on your team sheet?
I think probably Mark Lovell.
Yeah.
I think. Just because of his leadership and his experience, and I think he brings a lot to the team. You know, it's I think probably Mark Lovell. I think, you know, he's solid, he's calm at the back. You know, if you need to kill a penalty last minute of the game or something, you know, he's the kind of person you'd want out there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he's calm on the puck, doesn't get too flustered. You know, so I think Mark Lovell, I think.
Yeah.
Richie?
I can't split it, so I'm going to have to go with 2, I'm sorry. So, 1 is Jared. You know, I think Jared's a great player. And he's 100%. And the second one would be Alex, because I think he's tenacious, and he still doesn't get the fact that I say he looks like Jamie Benn, and he just looks at me like I'm a divvy. But no, you know, he's ferocious when he plays. Like, you know, he goes to the net, he goes in when he gets hurt. He's not scared of anything, and I think sometimes a lot of the guys, if they look to see that some of these leaders, if you like, then, you know, they could improve themselves as well.
Yeah. This will be interesting now, because obviously Alex,
Well, I'm not saying it's because he's here, but James, ever since he's been a kid, he gets in all the dirty areas, and he comes out most of the time.
Most of the time he comes out injured.
He gets in everywhere.
Yeah.
I've seen injured, well, he has been injured over the last few seasons, but he's never, doesn't question it, straight in.
And he does have that daft look on his face as well, doesn't he? He's always laughing when he does it. He's always laughing when he does it.
Go on, Keith.
Well, I'll have to agree with Paz, I think. With James. Well, no, but yeah, he's something different, like, you know. So yeah.
Special, isn't it?
It is special.
We like the word on the podcast, so
If I could
like
pick
special.
Special. Yeah.
If I could pick one more, it'd be Matty.
Yeah.
Matt Wainwright.
Yeah. He just seems so calm as well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he is,
When he's on
and
the
he's-
ice. Yeah.
He never seems flustered. And
He's good with his feet as well, Matt, in the corners.
and for the defenseman, he's in front of goal, he can be absolutely magic. He's
Were you
got
gonna
his
say to the
hands.
big lad then?
No. Well. Oh dear. He's not as big as me, is he?
Is this another cut?
No, in front of goal.
Yeah.
He just picks any corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good
Yeah.
shot. Look at
Wicked
it.
shot.
Yeah.
on him.
He scored a few good ones last season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which
Especially from points.
For the Ginger's
Yeah.
pretty good, like. Sorry, Matt.
Okay, so again, bit of fun. Bench one. Who you sticking on the bench?
Well, Mike
Who's
Clancy.
it in your fourth line?
Mike Clancy all day long. Sorry, Mike, but you know. But yeah.
Okay.
It's such a horrible question, this, isn't it?
I love it. Keith?
Oh, blimey.
It doesn't have to be ability-wise, don't worry. We won't be calling anyone out. Just one you think, he wouldn't fit in my team.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It's horrible.
It is.
What about you, Richie? I bet you gagging. I'm like, he's dropped.
No, do you know what? I'm really stuck on this one. I think when I see a poor goal conceded with a lack of effort, then I wish I could bench everyone who was on the ice, because I think you're all guilty of that. You know, you've left your goalie out, you've hung him out to dry. But I think if there was one, and it wouldn't necessarily be, you know, benching because I don't like him, because I think he's ace, and that's Ryan.
I was going to say that.
It's because he's a good kid.
Yeah.
You know, and he's funny, and I think, you know, if he got benched, some players can go into a sulk. He probably wouldn't even realise that he'd been benched, to be honest with you, because he'd probably still be laughing.
We went to Coventry and he'd left his skates at home. So we spent the night in the bar with me. And he had no money. He never got any money.
So dropping gloves. If you're in your prime back in the day, you can fancy yourself. Or even now, if you want to go now.
I tried with that many. I must have had loads of fights, but I lost most of them. So I'll lose to any of them. I'll take out. Because it won't make me hard, I don't think. He'll take pity on me.
What about you, Keith?
Who would I take on? He said.
Drop gloves with and say, like, we're having it.
Go big.
Creamer.
Al's got a list. Which priority list?
The list, I say I've got a list, but it's just different.
got a list.
It's in my prime, I don't know. I mean, I had a fight with a lot of people in the league, you know what I mean? It wasn't, I don't know, who would I fancy? There's a couple of, probably a couple I wouldn't. I've seen Mark Lovell, the side of him, like, that's, he can brag people about if he's in the mood.
He gets that from his mum.
Yeah.
A piece of work.
But to be fair, there was nobody that I was afraid of that would get
What,
on nice
what about now, though? Yeah,
Oh, now?
The team now, yeah. That's what he asked. You had 2 cans, haven't you? Who in the team now?
That I'd have a fight with.
Yeah.
Well, fucking hell, bacon, eh? Let's go for the Baconator.
That's what bacon.
Yeah.
Creamer.
Yeah.
Creamer from years ago.
Obviously, that
Yeah.
been too much bother, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Easy work.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he does get better, to be fair. His balance is a lot better than it used to be. You know what I mean? He's not afraid to, to go and have a go, but it's just the rules as they are in the league. You could have a fight and then miss 5 games.
Yeah.
So I can see why they're doing it, and why he's probably told not to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, a good clean hit is as good as a fight anyway. You get a good clean hit on you, you've been hit. But usually a fight is a spin around 2 or 3 punches if you're lucky. But let's go for bacon.
There you go. Go on, Richie.
Well, Al stole my thunder there because Carl's he's just a contender. He's the people's champ, isn't he? But he's not a real champ yet. He's got to up his game. Who would I like to drop the gloves with? I think probably Snip. because I'd probably hit him once. He'd be concussed. and then we'd probably do some sort of like Strictly routine on the ice because I wouldn't want to hit him any more times because he'd just start laughing because he's such a happy lad and he's ace. So bacon up the ante.
Bacon.
I remember a fight I had in Telford. A lad elbowed me going into the corner, so we had a little scuffle. He was getting sent into the bench and I was getting kicked out of the game. So he was on their bench, he was in the penalty box. The 2 refs have got me like that, taking me to kick me off the ice. And just as we're getting off the ice, I said, alright, like, I'm getting off now, you can let go of me. Anyway, as they let go of me, I turned round, skated the width of the ice, and had done a bit like Barry Coyd, he just dived straight over. But I went at head first, straight over into the penalty box, and I landed on him and I was pounding him in the penalty box. Didn't even get a ban.
Just an applause.
Yeah. And I just got sort of, he's lying there, you get fed, but this is somebody. Okay, just get up and walked off. Didn't get nothing for it. And Solihull game, innit?
It's probably because we didn't have the money to pay the fine maybe at the time. I don't know.
But I remember the Solihull game, there was a few minutes left in the game and I'm in the box, there's this young lad next to me with a face cage on. And he said, sheep shagger. I said, what? Sheep shagger, he said. I said, listen mate, I said, get that helmet off. I said, see how tough you are then. And he's giving me a bit of jip back into. There's only a couple of minutes left in the game, so we goes on now, we're shaking hands. And I was looking, game mate, game. And I spotted him, he's got his face cage up here. As I put my hand out, he put his hand out and I banged him, just put him down, smacked him. Just went off the ice after that, not even a ban for that. His mum come up to me in the bar afterwards, number 6, you're an animal. I said, well, tell your lad to, just shut his mouth, he's not a, you know what I mean? So, that was a bit of fun.
What about that one you had in Glasgow?
In Glasgow?
Playing bar football.
I don't remember. You have to remind me.
Playing bar football.
Right. Oh, I'm there.
And you scored an own goal. So Georgia. I punched you.
You punched me?
Yeah. You used to punch all of us.
Oh,
Andy used to punch me all the time. I was like, what, you throwing your losers medals in the bin for? Because they're losers medals, nobody wants losers medals, do they? Alright, pass.
Okay, we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Just a reminder, the Welsh Cup fixtures, 7th Saturday, September, 5:15, and then the away leg is 28th of September, 7 o'clock. in Cardiff, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, hope to see you all there. Big crowd.
Yeah.
Again, if you've enjoyed the podcast, make sure to subscribe, give us all a good follow, and big thanks to the guys for coming in
Cheers,
and
guys, enjoyed it.
sharing your stories, and lots of editing and beeps and cuts to
To contend with now.
so we'll get this one as quick as possible, but no promises.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
cheers, thank you.
very much.
Best of luck for the season, Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, best of luck.
Best of luck, yeah.